Greetings, TheWarOwl greets you and welcome to another episode of Matchmaking Academy, where you are the star for all the wrong reasons, but don't worry, we are going to figure out what those reasons are and help you improve at Counter-Strike Global Offensive. This time our hero is Son of the Nerd, not very respectful of your father, and he is a legendary Eagle player, and he wanted to know about how to counter a force buy after winning pistol round. So after the enemy has won the pistol round, we see it happening right now as the terrorists have pushed into bomb site A. There's a lot going on here, and we're going to explain it. I'm going to watch his attempt at a retake here. Fails his spray control and goes down. So this is actually a great opportunity to talk about the established meta buying strategies for the early game. So let's do that. The death pose looks like a controlling girlfriend. Give me your wallet, I'm going shopping. The scenario we're looking at here is a deviation from the established metagame. Generally, if terrorists lose a pistol round and do not plant the bomb, they will do a force buy on round 2, because they will still be able to buy round 4. This is much better than saving 2 rounds in a row, because it gives them a better chance at a victory on the second round. If the terrorists plant the bomb on the first round, like they did in the demo, it makes sense to save second round because they will be able to buy fully on the third. What we witnessed here is an anomaly, a deviation from the established meta in order to catch your opponents off guard, risk-reward, and it worked. After the second round loss of 1,400 and the 800 for the bomb plant, that gives 2,200 for each player on round 2. This is enough to purchase armor, helmet, and one of the 2 cheap submachine guns, the MAC-10 or the UMP. Players can also purchase Tech 9 and get extra nades and flashes. If a player got 2 kills, or even planted the bomb and got a single kill, they can then purchase armor and MP7. It's assumed that second round, the enemy team will be buying SMGs and preparing for an anti-eco, that is, setting up in the event that the terrorists are not buying anything. Because of this, the terrorists can force buy on the second round, completely surprising their opponents, and if they lose, they can still buy fully on round 4. I wanted to do a strat talk on this idea, but pros do not generally use it. It was hard to find footage of it. If they get a bomb plant, they will generally buy third round. That's like the standard way to play. But this way to play seems to work as well. It's risk-reward, and if it pays off, it's pretty big. If it doesn't pay off, all you've lost is a single round. So beyond just preparing economically for it and getting the gun advantage, which they did, if we check out their buy here at the start, they have a lot of smokes and flashes. We have 3 smokes in total, 2 Molotovs even. We have a FAMAS here. We have a MP7, all these very strong weapons, and definitely going to have a strength over what the terrorists have here. They have 2 smokes, a single flash, and when your opponents have that sort of a thing, like a single 2 floats, single flash, they're pretty much going to be going in very fast. They're going to be doing a rush play because they don't have time to bait anything out. Either they're going to run up to an area that's smoked and wait for it to clear and then push directly in, or they're just going to charge right into a bomb site, and they've decided to just do a blitzkrieg strategy into bomb site A. The CTs have decided, okay, second round, after bomb plant, they're going to buy fully on third. This is just an eco that they're going to throw away. Most common strategy for that, I guess, at this level of play is going to be a very games push into bomb site B. So that's the terrorists just full saving, charging into B, with the idea and with the goal of getting a bomb plant down on that site for a little bit of extra money. So they stack this with 3 players. I don't think you have to do that. One of the things you should prioritize in a round like this where you don't know what's going to happen is intel and figuring out what's going to go on. So let me hop in game here and talk about a better strategy. Actually, a little bit first, let's go a little bit forward here. Let's watch these players and wait for it. Boom. Right now, they should know that these Ts are pushing into the site and should call a rotate, because the smoke has already bounced. They've seen things fly over the top. They have a player in a forward position here who can actually hear what's going on. And yeah, flashes come over the top as well. They know that the Ts are pushing out at this point. Rotate should have been called. Let's see how long it takes. And finally, CTs start to rotate. That is very, very late. Also, we saw these players, it seemed like they were setting up to nade stack these players, pushing into bomb site B. Again, you only really need 1 player watching that. I'm going to hop in game and talk about watching bomb site B instead of stacking up like this. I'm a counter-terrorist, and I want to prevent a very games rush into bomb site B. That's all the pistol players running through the tunnels to get a bomb plant. Normally when you're playing this site, it makes sense to do this. You have one player playing short and one player playing at the van. So the short player is running up here, and boom, at this point, he's going to hear footsteps. If the terrorists are just charging right through, he's going to have intel of that. Also, this is a strong hold-off position right here. If they want to nade stack it, he can throw the nade like that as well, or just throw it down as they're running into it. Plenty of different ways to do that. Also, he can quickly rotate over here to middle and help out the mid player as well. So that's a really nice position for that player. The other spot is going to be the designated B player. So you only really need one player to do this. He's going to come over here, and one of the things he can do is just jump up like this to get intel. So every time he jumps up, he'll see exactly what's going on over there. And because of the hitboxes, he has a very low chance of actually getting hit. And he'll get prior warning about when these players are going to push. And since they had a bunch of smokes and flashes and Molotovs, they can actually, this player, once he sees some stuff, he can be like, all right, I'm going to throw a Molotov. That's going to delay the push for that much longer. Or I can throw a smoke like that. They're not going to be pushing in here anytime soon. And if he wants to shoot them, all he has to do is do a little jump duck here on this barrel. The other thing you can do, instead of trying to spray down here, which is probably dangerous to do that, you put yourself really exposed. When the smoke's down, you can jump up here. Is to rotate back over here and take a different angle as they start to push in. Even bench would be a nice one, like right here, to hold it off. So you have your short player watching those windows, and you're watching right here as they push out. So that's kind of a great way to hold it off. Even with just two players like that, you're going to be able to hold off a pistol rush, most likely. So then they have this other player who they're not doing anything with. So let's actually talk about this area. Let's say they did push three players here, like they're gonna nade stack it and they get in position. Okay, we don't hear anything. Time to rotate. It's not worked. We need to get back into position because you really do need a player to play mid. Generally on this round, nobody's gonna go mid. It's an eco round. It's not something where players are going to be trying to take that mid control. They're just going to push in pretty fast. But you do need a player mid in case they do go that route. That's a possible route. You need this player here. And also, the mid player can rotate to B or to A. So really what the mid player's job is more like a rotate player. If they're having trouble at B, he can move over here really quickly like this and get to B. The other thing he can do pretty fast is if he hears it's a B rush, he can jump over here while the other guys are rotating and sneak up behind them at underpass. It's always good to have this little tactical position here. And then as they're trying to push in, he can kill a few players like that. So instead of just putting him inside of B like that. And then, of course, if they're pushing A, he could have helped out over here, which he would have been able to help out. Now, we talk about these players at A. If they hear anything, they need to call it. That's pretty much all it comes down to. It didn't seem like they called it very well. And they did not respond well to that bomb site take. Another point about getting intel, if you know that the player is buying, you have to call it for your team and say they bought, and then you react a little bit differently. So it's like, instead of going for body shots, knowing that you're going to aim punch them, you have to play it like you're playing against a full bot player, which you are. They just have that UMP, but at the same time, you got to go for headshots. You got to play it like you're playing against a regular guy. You're not going to be able to just mow them down if they have armor like that. Aim punch, not going to happen. Big thanks to Son of the Nerd for his dedication to improving at the game, for sending in this demo, and thank you folks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let's get an Owl Vision. IDK, my BFF Jill.